It's been a great morning at Kingswood University. We celebrated worship together and communion for the first time together as a campus this year, and what a joy it was to get the chance to lift God's praise. And we looked at the Word together, and in Luke chapter 22, we looked at how the disciples were arguing, even down to the last moments at the Last Supper, about who was the greatest. And yet Jesus taught them a lesson that we still need to learn today, that ultimately the one who is the greatest is the one who serves best, who loves most deeply. We're reminded of Peter's words in 1 Peter chapter 4, where he says, above all else, love each other deeply and use whatever gift that God has given you to faithfully administer God's grace in his various forms, and do it in the strength that God provides, so that in all things God may be praised. And I'm excited to have the privilege of walking alongside these emerging leaders this year as they discover what that looks like in their lives, and excited for what God has in his heart to do this year at Kingswood. So keep us in your prayers, but it's been a great day at Kingswood University.
It was great to worship with everyone back again at Kingswood and Chapel this morning. Had a fantastic time. We took communion together. Dr. Gorvet spoke out of Luke 22, talking about the disciples arguing about who was to be recognized as the greatest, and reminded us to follow the example of Christ, who is a servant leader, to be servants to others. Whether, when we graduate, we end up being pastors of churches of 2,500 people, or whether we're a faithful pastor in a country church of 40 people, just to constantly be a servant, constantly follow Christ's example, to be servant of all for his glory.
So today in chapel, Mark Gorvet, our president, spoke about being a servant leader. I really enjoyed being back on campus with the Kingswood family, being in chapel with my best friends and my entire extended family. But he spoke about being a servant leader, and it's really been a big theme. Everyone keeps talking about it. Everybody's saying, we're servant leaders, and I really love it. Mark said today that you can't serve without loving first, and it was really kind of mind-blowing to me. Is like, you really can't, and it was good to hear that even our president wants to serve us, not just be our leader, but he wants to serve us, and he wants to be there for us. And I really hope that the student body can step up in that way too, and really hold each other accountable and serve each other and create a unified body.